How would you deal with that? It's something that we're seeing across all of the county.
We do, and we have certain members of our police department, and I think we could, quite frankly, could steer more in that direction, and more of the civilian CSAs are doing code enforcement as opposed to just sworn officers. We need to educate our public to let us know more. Hey, if there's an abandoned house or somebody's ran off and left their house or the yard's getting high, call us. Let us know. We need to be more aggressive in the news papers and in terms of their community things that get out. Call us. Let us know, because we do need to be more aggressive. If you don't, you allow for bad things to happen. Not only do property values go down with unattended properties, but it brings crime. It brings all kinds of problems that these neighborhoods don't need. So I think we do have to be as aggressive as we can be in terms of making people clean their properties up. And if they're foreclosed and gone, whoever's the last on the pole, whether it's the bank or whoever owns this property, you got to do something with it. You can't just board it up and leave it there for the rats to run in and out.
The city manager, you mentioned you have a mixed opinion on how his job is done, and this issue again of maybe he's not as a manager style, it's not the friendliest or the most approachable. But in defense, I'll play the devil's advocate. I mean, city manager is really kind of an administrator, and this idea of the liaison to the public, I mean, that should be the city commissioner.
Well, we're the policy makers, but he's the one who's responsible. I agree. I'm not looking for a touchy, warm, feely guy that's everybody's going to love. That's not what a city manager is going to do. But when he first came here, he brought in these folks that he knew from outside and basically created levels of bureaucracy of people we knew that were absolutely new to Fort Lauderdale, that knew nothing, and they came in and said, we're going to do it our way. And some of it worked. Okay, we got... we have a surplus, a reservoir now of money that we didn't have before, but I think a large of that was because of the property values and the monies that came in. But I'll give him some credit for that. But still, we have to have somebody from the top that is going to be very sensitive to when a resident has a question, it's going to get answered. When people want to come into here and do things for us, whether it's a new air and sea show, then he needs to be responsive. I think it's an absolute shame that the Baltimore Orioles are about ready to leave Fort Lauderdale, and I blame him mostly, because I don't think that he has been aggressive enough in terms of working that out. That's his responsibility. That baseball team needs to stay here. And you know how much money that brings in? And, I'm a little bit prejudiced because I was born and raised in Baltimore, and I love the Orioles. I love going out there and watching them. But still, that's money. We can't afford to let things like that walk out of Fort Lauderdale. The Air and Sea Show, we need that. We need as many destination events and to bringing people here to the city to see what we are about, so that some of them will actually want to come and live like me.
Why do you blame him for the Orioles? Why do you blame him for the Orioles?
Because he hasn't done enough to make that deal, to close a deal with them.
What's been the missing element? They had that project with Lockhart Stadium.
They're fighting
over
what
the FAA. It was the FAA ruling.
But it wasn't that much money. Okay, if we've got to pork in a little bit of money to keep that, then we've got to do it. We're going to lose a lot more. And I don't think that he's been flexible enough or aggressive enough in terms of keeping them here.